Hi everyone, we're back again, and in this video, I'll be giving you your personal money management checklist. 5 things you should be doing to gain greater control and have better success with your finances. Understand your psychology of money. What is money to you? I remember the first time I took a money profile test, and suddenly many of my habits and weaknesses made so much sense. To you, money may mean freedom like it did to me, but it may also mean status, power, or even love. Your money profile is what you believe about money, and we all know that our beliefs shape the way we live. The way we save, spend, and share money is shaped by our beliefs and our attitudes towards money. Self-awareness in this case is very important to taking greater control of your financial life. You can find one of these tests in the description below. Knowing why you behave the way you do is usually the first step to improving and becoming a better steward of anything. Step 2, have an entrepreneurial spirit. There was a time when the word hustling had a negative connotation attached to it, but those days are far gone. Most people now recognize that having an entrepreneurial spirit is a positive attribute. Firstly, this entrepreneurial spirit is not limited to business. It may even be within your job. Go the extra mile, try new things, innovate, put yourself out there, and be diligent. There's a quote that says, "If you're willing to do more than you're paid to do, eventually you will be paid more than you do." This also applies to not remaining stagnant in your field. In a year's time, how will you have invested in yourself so that you provide more value? Maybe you can study a course. There are lots of free courses online, and YouTube is a university in itself. You could do a certificate, a master's, or any other relevant or useful thing to add more value. Take risks and invest in yourself. Even outside of the job environment, make time, sit down and write down the skills and natural talents that you have, and put some serious thought into how you can leverage on those skills and talents to earn you some extra income. There were stories earlier in the year of people who had unfortunately lost their jobs and started businesses which were now making them 50,000 shillings a month baking. These were things they could have been doing on the side anyway, but it took an emergency to open their eyes to these opportunities. And remember, not all opportunities are glamorous. Thomas Edison once said, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work." 3. Save and invest. This is advice that you probably heard 1,000 times and didn't follow or don't even follow now, but some money principles don't change, and this is one of them. I think, or rather I hope, that everyone understands the importance of saving and budgeting. But just because you're saving doesn't mean you're saving correctly, and that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're saving what's left, you're not saving correctly. If your income is increasing and your savings are not, you're not saving correctly. If by saving you mean not using, that it's just unused cash in your M-Pesa or your wallet or even some bank account earning you 3% interest per year, you're not saving correctly. Firstly, you should always save, then spend. Allocate a percentage of your income to savings and then live on the rest. The greater the percentage, the better. Second, don't buy into the lie that the more you earn, the more you'll save. Saving is not about how much or how little you earn. Wisdom says that if you're faithful with little, you'll be faithful with much, and the inverse applies. This also applies where your salary inflates. Your lifestyle should not increase proportionally. Don't fix what's not broken. You are probably fine. First, allocate a percentage to savings, and where necessary, spend the extra money where you may have not been able to before. Third, be intentional with increasing that percentage of your savings. Let's give a practical example. If you spend 250 shillings a day on lunch, add that up, and that's 90,000 shillings a year. Let's say you even cut that in half and say, you know what, I will only eat lunch out for half of the week. That's 45,000 shillings extra that you have at the end of the year, which you can channel towards something else. Why? Because you are intentional. You sat down and budgeted and cut out all the unnecessary costs. This year, you won't be wondering how all these people can afford those December holidays in Kilifi, because you are intentional and you channeled your spending towards what will be more valuable to you in the long term. Lastly, on this point is where you put your saved funds, and this is so important. This is the difference between 1 million and 30 million shillings. If you haven't watched our video on compound interest, now is the time to do that. I can be saving 100 shillings every month and you're saving 10,000 shillings every month. But depending on where we put our money, in 30 years, my 100 shillings could easily supersede your 10,000 shillings a month. This is so important. Again, where are you putting your savings? Many people feel intimidated by the concept of investing because of all the jargon that's involved, cost to equity, leverage ratios, and they feel that it'll take a lot of time for them to learn that. But you don't need to know all that in order to invest well. One thing you can do is invest in assets that you can forget about. Buy a portfolio of shares for the long term and forget about it for the next few years. Don't know what shares to buy? Look at our stock recommendations created by people whose first language is investments. Elect a relationship manager for 1,000 shillings a year and have them do it for you. And then put it out of your mind, or find another asset that you can invest in and forget about, that you don't have to consistently monitor and evaluate. On the other hand, if you do want to learn, there's a plethora of affordable and valuable ways for you to do so. There are classes out there like Abojani, Centonomy, or even the NSC, which offers trainings. And of course, this channel, which aims to simplify investing and educate and enrich you. Learn and grow yourself. 4. Normalize speaking about money in ordinary conversation, not just your chama or investment group. And when I say speaking about money, I mean useful and edifying conversations about finances. Unfortunately, this has not yet become part and parcel of ordinary conversation, and this needs to change. Especially for younger people, when was the last time you had a chat about finances? Do you even know if your friends budget? What were the last investment opportunities you discussed together? And to the older generation, when was the last time you sat down your children or your nieces and nephews and had a chat about finances, helping them avoid the mistakes that you may have made? Money needs to be a normal part of our conversations because it's a normal part of our lives. If others are not intentional about it, you take that first step. Ask that aunt you look up to out for lunch and have a conversation about finances. Have that trusted person that you run your business ideas by or your investment ideas. Sometimes they'll tell you, yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Other times they'll tell you, this may be less glamorous, but it's a better route to take. Let's normalize mentorship when it comes to finances. There's so much to be gained. Let's take that step today. 5. Have an emergency plan. An emergency is a serious, unexpected negative occurrence. I emphasize unexpected because there's a temptation to believe that tomorrow will go the way today went. It's as if people, myself included, expect an emergency to announce when it's on its way. Or on the other hand, we expect that it's something that happens to other people. I think 2020 has taught us that we honestly don't know what tomorrow holds, and it's only prudent to plan for emergencies. It may be prudent for you to have at least a few months savings in case of job loss or other medical emergencies. Can you live at the basics of your lifestyle for a few months off of your savings? Accessible emergency savings is definitely something you need to think about. And by accessible, I mean money that's not tied up in a savings account where you need to give 3 months notice to get it out, or in a plot, or you'd have to sell your car. No, by accessible, I mean that you'd be able to access it, if not today, then within 3 days' time. Start slowly building that emergency fund today. So that's it. That's your personal money management checklist. We have great news. Until 30th September 2020, if you sign up with AIB DigiTrader, the #1 stock trading platform in Kenya, the next person who signs up with your referral code could win you a fully paid 2-night escape for 2 at a Nashipai resort, spa treatment included. So visit the description below to get the links to sign up. Get a friend to sign up as well, and next month you could be enjoying an amazing holiday at Nashipai.